Okay, guys, I want to go through now, and again, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I want to go through the chapters and break down a little bit exactly what the highlighted parts are and what I mean by the perfect Instagram post. We had images that I put in here, but the book got overwhelmingly thick, and I thought that people would be intimidated by getting something like that, so I cut a lot of the images out. So right now, let's just kind of begin with when we talk about the Instagram environment. I write about this in my book, and I want you to really understand the user's perspective, because a lot of people, some of the most brilliant minds in marketing right now, are not seeing it the way the user sees it. So this is what I want you to know about Instagram. Instagram is a vertical vision board. People have their thumbs and they're constantly scrolling through looking for something that's going to capture their attention. One of the ads we did for the Lionsgate video a couple of days ago, we had, and this was a scene in the movie that Lionsgate sent us, it was a girl that was putting like a chastity belt thing on another guy, but you couldn't quite tell what was happening. And so the number one thing that got people to stop and engage with that Instagram post, and they commented this in the comments, was curiosity. They're like, what the hell is happening? What's going on here? And so something I've learned more, and Jordan has taught me this a lot, is when you have your subject lines of your emails, when you have your headlines, you don't want to tell people what the offer is. You want to create curiosity, and so that way they'll stop and engage with it. And it's definitely a mistake I made for a long time. That's why you'll see Russell Brunson does a great job with my weird niche funnel that's making $17,850 a day. Well, what is this weird niche funnel? But here's a mistake that Russell's making. He's doing an extraordinary job teaching people funnel, but most of the world does not know what a funnel is. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit. But they call it technobabble. And part of the reason why each one of us uses technobabble, it's because when you're in the jar, you can't read the label. And so you're so close to your business, you're so close to what you're doing, that you really can't get an outside perspective. And that's why mastermind sessions are absolutely crucial, because you get different perspectives from different people. And that's key. And so when we're talking about the Instagram environment, it literally is a vertical vision board where people are scrolling through there. And they get just a real small snippet of the caption text. And that's the reason why I'll jump up and down and throw things and tell people your hashtags do not go right there. That's valuable real estate that you get. You get a very short amount of time to catch someone's attention adding on that text. And so your hashtags, no matter what, and we'll get into that more in the book, but just to drive the point home, you should have a notes section in your phone with your hashtags, and it should look exactly like this.
I was wondering how to do that.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I tried.
And so once you put those, I guess my phone is over there
So
recording.
you just copy and paste it.
And so you just copy and paste it, and that goes in the first comment of every post that you have. You can test out hashtags, you can change them out a little bit, but we've noticed is a lot of bots will grab on to hashtags, but this is the truth about Instagram. Any engagement you can get on your Instagram post will garner other engagement from real people that will come in as well. And so it's not necessarily a bad thing when you are getting some of the bot type comments on there or engagement.
So let me ask you a question. What's the latest on the hashtags? Because I'm in a group and they're really talking about if you're using the same ones a lot of time it's kind of like they'll kick you off that explore page because if it's something that they're grabbing all the time, so you kind of change it up some. Or
We think that you should have like 3 little sets of different variations of hashtags, but there might be some of the same hashtags mixed inside of there. Personally, with all the accounts that we run, we haven't had that problem. But here's a problem that I have on Instagram that may not help you guys. We have big accounts, and so our big accounts might override some of the algorithms, and some of the smaller accounts might be affected differently. And so I think it's good to change it up, but you're going to see that we're not going to spend a lot of time on Instagram. That's not what this is about. This is about building your business and getting a system in place that will make you money. And again, systems permit ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results predictably. There's nothing extraordinary about myself other than I work my ass off and don't stop. I think everybody has the want to that's here. That's why you're irrationally passionate about what you're doing, or you wouldn't have jumped on an airplane and flew around the world to see this stuff. So you have the want to, you just now you need to get the how to. And I can do that.
Can I ask you, when you're talking about the notes section, you're talking about on my phone, I'm so new at
That's okay.
What are all those lines?
These are little hyphens.
So
you'll put a hyphen,
would there
press
be a
enter.
word there?
Nope, nothing. And that's a really good question.
So I just put a hyphen?
You put a hyphen, you press enter, you put another hyphen, you press enter, another hyphen, and you do it about 8 or 9 times. You can do periods as well. We found that sometimes periods, they'll clump them up. I mean, it may work, but the hyphens are what's worked
So
best
you
for us.
actually put hyphen
Yep.
and then you put a hashtag.
And so what happens is you're going to drop this in the first comment, and then it's gonna be hidden. No one's going to really see your hashtags. The point of the hashtags is searchability. You want people, when they go on Instagram, if they search diet or something like that, you want them to find your post.
Keyword-rich hashtag.
Keyword
Related to your
keyword rich, and we're going to talk later about how to find the right ones.
Do you have a certain number of hyphens that you recommend? I know it's kind of silly.
No, it's fine. I love it. I could say 8 because that's what we're currently using, but is 7 or 9 the right answer? 8's what we use. You know, and I believe the reason why my business is where it is right now is because I go nuts over the small things.
Yeah, I like that.
And it drives everyone around me crazy. But I personally feel if you get all the tiniest little things right, the big things fall into place. And so that's why I love that question. You know, what's the number? And I don't know that our number is the right one or not, but that's what's currently working well for us. I love it.
So it is actually that amount, you say 8 of them.
How many did I write? 1,
8.
2. I mean, I didn't even mean to. That's just what we do.
That's 8. Intuitively. You just do it.
Yeah.
9.
Let's talk a little bit about your name, your Instagram name. I believe that there's kind of 2 types of pages and thought processes here. One can be a brand page / a business page. Excuse me. And then there can be a personal page. And we get lots of questions asking people what they should do. And on that USB drive that I gave you, one of the videos with Jason and I talking, Jason says his first mistake he believes he made was not building his personal page sooner. And he's poured it on and done really well. He's got hundreds of thousands of followers on Jason Stone now. Obviously has millions on Millionaire Mentor.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? That was his biggest mistake.
Jason says, maybe it's on the video in there, I don't know if it's the biggest, but I know that he says he wished he would have started building his personal page
Yeah.
sooner.
Instead of Millionaire Mentor.
And so he built Millionaire Mentor, done very, very well with that. Jason's leading the entire industry when it comes down to actually making money through affiliate products and monetizing.
Yeah.
No one's beating him. No one's coming close. And here's the thing, and I don't want to go on too many tangents, guys. All of my friends that have these big accounts, Achieve the Impossible, School for Success, Think, Grow, Prosper, Thomas has a little bit different with Ask a Millionaire. He does well with the personal touch. But all of these people, they're constantly reaching out to me because they think I'm their gateway to Jason or whatever it might be, asking what's happening or what he's doing and how he's doing this. It's not a secret. He's doing it right in front of you. And so as we talk about, and I'm moving forward in the book a little bit more, it's not a secret to any of us. It's modeling success and modeling what works and figuring out what works for you. The difference between Jason and a lot of these other people, he's not afraid to offend his followers. When he promotes my products, he promoted InstaPro Academy. He'd promote it for an hour, delete it, post it right back up there and post it again. And he would do this nonstop for days on end, and we would get thousands of people on my webinar for me to pitch just because Jason was blasting him. His comments on there, his people, bro, enough of this, or stop. I mean, they were going crazy with that. But let's say he loses a couple thousand followers. Well, he makes tens of thousands of dollars from doing that. And so I think the mistake that some people are making on their Instagram accounts is they're tying it too closely to their baby or their child, and they don't realize this is a vessel to make money on. And then you know what a lot of my friends are doing that have 500,000 and 600,000 followers? They're getting tired of it because the amount of work it takes to maintain a page like that, they're literally earning minimum wage. And I'm not joking with you. They're earning minimum wage for the amount of time they're putting in and what they're getting back. But we're going to talk about that too. Okay. So when it comes to your name and your brand, I think it's important that you have a personal page and you share a little bit of your personality of you and who you are. And I also think it's important to have a brand that you're talking about your products and services a little bit more. But one of the things that I want to be as truthful with you as humanly possible, it's not about your Instagram page. If Instagram took my pages away from me right now, I'd be fine. I wouldn't like it, but it wouldn't hurt me. I don't use my pages to make money, really. I mean, I have Elevate Your Mindset, Jeremy McGilvery, and a couple other ones. We don't promote on those pages. We use OPF, other people's followers, and that's where the magic is. And so I want to talk about your page and the makeup and the setup, and I want to get the foundation right because I honestly believe in all of life, you can't do the fancy stuff unless you nail the fundamentals. And so we'll get the fundamentals down, but I really want to move more quickly to making money because too many people, too many gurus are hung up about the hashtags, about the posting, about the times, about the content and stuff, and you need to have that, but more importantly, I want to talk about your funnels. Okay, so the name again, when people search in Instagram, and you have to understand this seems like rocket science to some people, it is actually very simplistic. When you search in Google for something, how to or motivation or something like that, that's identically to what people are doing on Instagram. It's nothing but a search field. And it's probably one of the largest search fields in the world right now because they're close to 1 billion users. And so when you're putting not your name, but your brand name, it needs to start with something that will catch people. Elevate your mindset. Everybody wants an elevated mindset. Everybody wants to think higher, be better, do more. And so that's kind of where we came up with that. The next thing is your logos. And this is where a lot of people really miss the mark. Jordan, can you show us the logo on the shirt, please? That's a logo. And that took a lot of time and a lot of refining
a lot of text messages.
for me to get it right. But it has to be very simple when you're getting people to see it. And it's even different that it's on the USB drive. I changed it a little bit. If you look at a logo, if you look at the most brilliant mind, and I don't think this is really debatable when it comes to success in branding, is Steve Jobs. And Steve Jobs says this. He says the ultimate form of sophistication is not when nothing else can be added, but when nothing else can be taken away. And so when you're looking at your brand and you're looking at your logos, I want you to figure out, what can I take out? What can I take out? You know, when I initially built InstaPro Academy, now it's at 88 videos inside of there. And I thought, well, I've got to take some stuff out. All my big internet marketer friends are telling me that this is crazy. I've got to take some stuff out. However, I feel that when I go to bed at night and somebody buys my product, you have everything you need to be successful. If you can't get it in these 88 videos, if you don't have the want to, if you don't want it that bad, it's not on me. I did the best that I could. And so sometimes in training, I think giving a little bit more can be good. But I think when it comes to your logo and the simplicity of what you're trying to make an impact with, it needs to be recognizable immediately. And so less is definitely more when you're thinking about how you're going to put your logo out there, with especially Instagram, because it's so little. I'll tell you who has a great logo is my friend Chris with Success Diaries.
Yeah.
He has the red with the book that's open right there. Chris did really well with that. And he's a stellar guy. All right, so let's talk about your bios a little bit. And when I say bio, here's what I mean.
As far as like the personal page and the brand page, so you're saying we should have both?
I think you should have both.
Okay.
But when I say that, I don't want you spending a lot of time on your pages. I don't want you spending a lot of time making images and putting content on your pages. That is the biggest fallacy on Instagram right now that is driving me nuts. And if you're on any of my live calls, I'm telling people it's not about your page. It's about somebody else who's grinding 24/7 and built hundreds of thousands of followers, and you can go pay a measly 50 or 40 bucks
I love that.
and promote in front of these people.
That's what I heard.
That's where the magic is. And on this USB drive that I give you, it literally is the best work I've ever done. I extract from these massive Instagram influencers the top pages out there in a very meticulous way. How did you do it? How are you doing it right now? And you'll see most of them, they built their following and they've crushed it with that, but they're struggling with the monetization factor. I don't have the size of following that a lot of them do, but I make a lot more money than they do. And it's about the emails. It's about making your offer so sexy and so attractive that people won't refuse it. And that's what we're going to spend time on. Okay, so here's your page. This is going to be your logo. And then you're going to have, you're going to have like a main name. This will be bold and this will be searchable. So you can have your Instagram name, that what your page is, elevate your mindset. And then you can have down here another way, the second way that Instagram will pick you up to search. You can say Instagram expert, or you can say thought guru, or you can say fitness expert, or whatever it is. And so I think that needs to be led to what you do, who you're doing it for right there. And so you'll have your page name, Jeremy McGilvery, and then I have Instagram expert. After that, we'll go back to bullets again. And I can't tell you how important this is. Maybe you've heard or not that goldfish have longer attention spans than human beings do. That's the truth. That's a fact. That's scientifically proven. So when someone goes to your Instagram page, and if you're using our Instagram software, you're going to have lots of people coming over and checking you out because they're going to be getting notifications all day long that you liked, you commented, you followed, or whatever it is. And so you're going to get a very brief moment for them to come to your page and figure out, is this somebody that I want to follow or engage with? And so the bullet points are bar none phrases. They don't need to be sentences, just very short. I think you get 140 characters or something like that in this area. And so step one is your actual Instagram name, what this page is, the @. Step two is going to be what name you want people to be able to find or what you do. And this will be in bold on your Instagram page. Step three is going to be 3 or 4 bullet points. Maybe you can use some emojis in here as well. That's going to just kind of drive home something that will catch people's attention. Step 4, the gateway.
So going back to bullets real quick, because I just figured this out. It took forever to figure out the bullets.
This is important. I'm glad you're saying that.
Okay, into the notes and then copy and paste it in there. So I was trying to do it through my phone forever and it just would never line up. So I don't know.
I'm really glad you brought that up. We get a lot of questions about that. So if you go on your Instagram page and you're trying to get it to line up down there, doesn't work. If you get on Instagram your desktop, if you access it from your desktop, you can press enter and you can do that. But a lot of people don't want to stop and go to their desktop. And again, that breeds the question. Nobody is using Instagram from desktop. Very, very little. So you'll go to your notes section in your phone and you'll type it out how you want it, how it looks good. And then you'll just copy and paste that right in there to your bio.
Right, because you can put emojis in there and everything.
Absolutely. That's a really good point. I'm glad you said that. The link is the gateway. The link is where the money comes from. And the link must be clean. What does that mean? The link means I don't want to see, and the biggest marketers are doing this wrong right now because they haven't figured this out. We have tested so much on Instagram that you would never imagine because of how quickly we can drive traffic. And we have tested what a link looks like that they do We have tested that link all day long as opposed to going and buying a domain and redirecting it or putting it over there on that. I have a training that if you want to make a note and say, I need your training that shows me how to forward a domain, I have a training that shows you how to do that in very simplistic detail through GoDaddy. That's who we like best. I can't tell you how important it is to have something very simple. Even with Lionsgate, how we ran this movie, there are so many amazing domains out there that you can buy right now. I bought, what did I buy? Well, what was the Lionsgate? Solve the Game. I bought solvethegame.com. Now, remember when I talked about curiosity? There's curiosity involved in that as well. Solve the game, well, what do you mean solve the game? And then we came out with the advertisement, tag 3 of your friends that you would want to take in this escape room with you, and then we sent them money to go to their own escape rooms. We came up with all this in a very short amount of time, but the thing about it is when an opportunity like that comes in front of you, you pounce. And you also get to prove what you're really made of. Is all this work that I've went through, is all this frustration, is me going home and complaining because she heats my food up too long and I've got to wait 4 extra minutes to cool down so I can go back to work. Did that pay off? And that's a true story. When you're not where you want to be, when you're not happy with the results you're getting in your life, I don't think you should necessarily walk around smiling like you could eat a banana. Don't fake it until you can make it sometimes. Get pissed off and make the changes that need to be made. Too many people in this world, and another great quote says that people will cling to an unsatisfactory way of life rather than get something better for fear of getting something worse. And that boils down to trade-offs. I know there's a lot of people that I teach and train, they don't have anything to lose really. And so they're willing to make that trade-off. But the people that do have something to lose, the people that are doing okay, they're the ones that, well, maybe not. There's a great book from Jim Collins called Good to Great. Highly recommend. I don't want you to read it though, I want you to listen to it. Okay, so that really is the key to just the nailing your profile. And I use profile and bio interchangeable, and I did it in my book a bunch of different times and changed things up a lot because I want you to know that's the same thing. Another great way to figure out what you want to use is go to pages that are having some success and look at what they're doing. But be careful if you're in the fitness industry and you go look at another fitness page and you're like, well, that must be working. They may have a network. They may have already have a strong base on Facebook or someplace else before this. And so that might be what's giving them their success. The bottom line is this is the best format and this works. Next. And that pretty much parlays into what I do talk about next is ethically spying on your competitors. Going out there and just looking at what people are currently engaging in. And that's one of the greatest shortcuts to success that people underestimate. Go find what's working for somebody else. Don't copy them. I tell people copying is for cowards, but model very closely what they're doing and what's working.
Okay, I have a question about that link again.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that we don't need to have it, like I have a domain name,
Mm-hmm.
I have a website
Mhm.
now. And I'm considering using that page to have people go there. But I don't need that? Is that what you're saying, that I can have it?
I'm not going to allow anybody in this room to send people to a website.
Okay, that's what I'm wondering.
That's not going to happen. We're gonna build something while you're here to fix that. Because, and I talk about this tomorrow morning a little bit more, the problem when people have too many decisions to make, they make none. But if you have a singular decision to make, do this, they do that. And that's where the massive difference comes in. Go
I
ahead.
think this is something to answer that question. So
Gotcha.
with like the popularity that's popped up of stuff like Linktree on an Instagram thing, that you really do, here's like 3 options of ways. So like let's say I have multiple free offers, opt-ins, ways to, do you still think that it's better one link, one objective, or do you think something like Linktree, if they have 3 options, is effective?
I'm okay with Linktree if it's helping our tracking and measuring, because that's what a lot of people are using it for these days. And as long as it's still clean, even Bitly and these other link shortening services, if you pay for the premium, and some of them are pricey and some of them aren't, as long as you're having something that's really clean, that's my...
I guess more so, not so much the visual aesthetic of the link, but having, you know, when you go to the link tree thing, it's just that page within the page that it gives you
Okay.
3 options of things you could opt into.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, now I know what you're talking about. We're
So,
mhm.
are you gonna get to that later?
Well, I don't know if I cover that specifically later.
I guess my question is like with that link. So I feel a lot of people are doing this alone. Things like this, right? Here's your 3 options.
Yeah, I definitely don't like that.
As opposed to your one landing page.
Yeah, I definitely don't like
Okay,
that.
that's exactly what was my question. Gotcha.
Yeah, I've seen that before
Because
too.
one option, right?
And here's part of the reason why I don't like that is because when we're designing your ad and your caption, we're going to be talking about a specific thing that we're sending people to. We're going to be talking about a specific pain and how we're going to get you to pleasure. And so I really just want to be very singular, and like I said, we've figured this stuff out.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. We talked about the selecting your niche and finding your fans. I think that there's going to be a lot of stuff we're going to talk about early tomorrow that's going to figure out if you're in the right industry. Most of you guys know that you're in the right industry already, but there's a lot of secret websites out there that can show you market capitalizations of niched industry. So obviously the market capitalization of fitness is $10 gazillion. But what if you niche down so far into your niche in fitness? Is there enough money in that niche to be able to make you money? And so we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And I touch on that in the book, but not as much as I will tomorrow. Let's talk about creating your images. I know there's WordSwag, there's Photo, there's Canva, there's lots of different options when it comes to creating images. I love Photo the most, and it's just because of the simplicity of it. And there's a ton of videos I've already done that kind of shows you guys how to build these things. There's several free websites. But I'm just going to be blatantly honest with you here at this event. The majority of the big Instagrammers, the people who are running our pages and running other big pages, they're going to pages that have high quality images, and they're taking those images and they're using them, and they're giving credit half the time and half the time they're not. Now, I'm not saying that's good or bad. I don't want to say that that's breaking an ethical rule or an ethical law by any means, because it's not that everyone is doing it. It's that these are public images. If you search on Google for a lot of these images, they're going to pop up. And if you want to go buy Shutterstock or buy Adobe or something like that, it's hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month. And I don't necessarily want people to do that. But I know that we have specific pages. I own, what is it called? Videos That Motivate. And you can take any of those videos anytime you want and post them anywhere you want. I don't care. We've got several other pages, and my friends that run the pages that have thousands of images, they could care less either. They went and found the images somewhere, they posted it on their account, and that's just the honest truth to what the big Instagrammers are doing out there right now. Now, if it is something specific or it is something that you know is tied to somebody, by all means, give photo credit. And if you have, and I talk about this in the book, if you have a page that's just going to do this, make absolutely certain that you put in the bio here the credit goes to the photos. And if they ever reach out to you, if someone says something to you, don't argue, delete it, or give them credit immediately. Just because our community is kind of a small community when you get inside of the right groups. And if you make the wrong people upset, it'll be very bad for you because of the firepower that they have behind them.
Quick question on that.
Mhm.
How about if you like the quote, but the background you change?
Actually, I was thinking the exact same thing.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, Afif, some pages that says credit goes to the,
Yep, that's exactly for them.
they don't put the name,
No.
that's okay.
I don't want to know, I don't want to say that's okay or not okay. Same with your question, okay or not okay. But I'm telling you that the biggest pages out there, every time someone puts a quote on their image, they don't say Les Brown said this or Tony Robbins said this. They're just putting the quote that's out there. Obviously, it's not the page who, not obviously, I mean, with Sean's page, Ask a Millionaire, he comes up with a lot of his own content and keeps it pretty simplistic. But a lot of people are just putting this content out there, and that's what's happening, and that's what people are doing. I don't think there should be a problem with it, but I do think that if someone does reach out or does something, like on Motivation Mafia, we've started posting a lot of videos lately because videos are where the engagement is. And there's been some videos we posted, someone came back and said, hey, that's so-and-so's video. So we'll go edit the caption and we'll make sure that person gets credit. But with all the content that we have coming in, sometimes I don't know where it comes from. And it's not that I'm trying to deceive or put something else out there. I'm trying to find the quality of the images, and I think that a lot of people on Instagram went and did the work for us. They found the great images, they're posting it on their pages, they're not making any money off of it. So there's a specific app called InSave. I talk about this in the book. I think in the back of the book I put resources, and that's going to be one of the resources. And that's where you go take the URL and you download the image instead of taking a screenshot. Definitely brings a lot higher quality.
Yeah, I think that's in one of your videos.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just.
Mhm. Let's talk.
That's an app or it's a website?
It's an app on your that we have on our phones.
Just a quick question. I normally do a hashtag as a credit to the person. Do I normally have to say credit to, or just have the hashtag that links straight to that page? Or,
The answer is there is no real answer. There is no Instagram gods that are out there that say this is the way you're supposed to do it. But saying that as well, if you're reposting other people's video, others' content very frequently,
no, not.
Instagram will warn you.
Yes, no.
I've had clients that have had warnings, but Instagram will warn you. And I believe if you get one warning, don't ever do it again.
Sure. Yeah, now what I sometimes I do is I get that picture and then I have my own things.
Mhm.
It becomes totally different,
Uh-huh.
but the picture was from this page, or, because it has to do with my page. So.
I feel that's what modeling success is. We go find somebody that has something that's working, and then we alter it slightly to us, and then we use it. If you look at, there's a specific app that stopped working a couple weeks ago. I don't know why, but you could put the Instagram name in this app. This is talked about in one of the videos in here that Ambition Circle, my friend Andrew has that page that he used a lot. But you can take Jason's Millionaire Mentor page, plug it in this app, and it will pop up his top 20 posts of what got the most engagement. And so now what do? You use very similar context and text and post on there and create your own, because that's what's going to get engagement. But again, I don't want you spending a lot of time on your own Instagram page. It's not about that. Let's talk about the perfect Instagram post. And this is going to be the absolute perfect Instagram post. If I could, learn what is it that's going to get the best results, what do I need to do to just do that over and over and over again? So obviously, you need to have the image. And it doesn't matter if it's all black, all white, if it has an image or a text on there. Please make certain you're putting the overlay so the text will pop out, how I show you in a lot of the videos that I do out there. The text, we found all caps and lower caps. We changed the text up, the text inside of here, we'll alter that. We won't use the exact same font over and over and over again. And when I took over Motivation Mafia and Agent Steven, the first time I was given a verbal spanking was, you're not conforming to this. And I said, I don't conform to anything. But we do that on purpose because you don't want your followers, and we started doing this on Elevate Your Mindset a long time ago, you don't want your followers to see the same thing over and over and over again. Now, don't get me wrong. Our DNA, our frontal cortex, loves consistency, loves to know what's coming next. We don't want surprises in life. But I think that the variation of just changing the text out sporadically on your images will kind of keep it fresh a little bit. So that's okay to do. But it also needs to be, and when you're doing the text, let's just say we're going to do you or something like that. The spacing needs to be really tight right here. And you can fix all that on Fonto really, really easy.
I don't know how to do any of this.
I've got video training that'll show you it all.
Like how to go on my page, put in an image, and then put text in it, like, let's say I want to put like a blue scroll or something, like you said, instead of just a.
I've got videos that'll show you all that.
Okay, so it's already in there, or?
The fastest way to get them is register for my web class, freeinstagramwebclass.com.
Okay.
And then as soon as you register, you'll be moved to a page that will have the videos right across the very top. And there'll be a video where I'll show you how to make images. There'll be a video where I don't remember the rest.
Free Instagram, what's it?
freeinstagramwebclass.com.
Webcam.
and I'll show you how I'm going through all this stuff, how I'm keeping it really tight, I want to maximize the extra space in here. I don't want to use this whole area for text and for font. And so that's really important. Next thing, your logo. What we've started doing a lot is all we're doing is we're putting Instagram way small enough with a line, and then and so let's say it's actually only going to take up that much room. And so instead of putting our logo over the top of it, or our logo somewhere on this page, we're just putting Instagram hyphen and then whatever the Instagram page is, and we're using the transparency in the text to make it faint a little bit more. It's almost like a subliminal message that it's in there. Now, Jeremy, why am I not putting a massive logo in there? Why are we not putting that over there? Because again, we've tested this like crazy. People are not going to take a screenshot and share your content around the world if it has your godly images all over the place on there. That's a massive mistake. And so I think the perfect Instagram post, just sticking here on the image, will have whatever your text is that you're overlaying there, and then it's just going to say Instagram line down, and then your Instagram page name, very small, very faint. And we actually changed Motivation Mafia 2 days ago to where we're just doing Motivation Mafia in all caps right below there. We're testing that right now. We're testing to see if that will work.
You put that line in underneath there, that was.
Well, the line underneath there represents about where the logo should be.
Okay, so the logo goes there.
The best way to look at it is go to any of my pages. You go to Motivation Mafia, Agent Steven, Jeremy McGilvery, Elevate Your Mindset. We do it that way with everything.
So you put your logo right there, then you put Instagram.
Well, we're not even doing logo.
Oh, not
We're not using logo at all. We're just going to type Instagram, put a line, and then our page name. And we've played with it. Do we put it above it or below it? We test everything. I personally like below it right now. But we're testing back and forth just because if any marketer comes to you, what time is it?
It's 11:15.
Okay. If any marketer comes to you and if you have an idea and they say, yeah, do this, we don't know what the answers are going to be. When you market a product or a service, your job is to go out there and see what your audience will respond to. I've had some of the most brilliant ideas I've thought in the world. We put it out there and it sucked. I was like, this was amazing. You guys don't like this? But our market is who gives us our grade.
Yeah, exactly.
What tech size do you recommend?
What's that?
The tech size.
I play with the size. I mean, I really don't use a specific. It depends on how many words I'm going to use and what I'm going to have on there for the size of it. Okay.
Maybe the vibe, maybe just the vibe of the
Sure.
words. So then you
I
use
like
that
to keep it
font.
kind of small, not too overbearing on there. Okay, let's talk about.
So Jeremy, you said you're testing it right now, right?
Uh-huh.
So when it comes back to you, what are you looking for? How much engagement or how much people buy or?
3 factors when we test something on Instagram: likes, comments, and then if you go to insights on your page, it will show you how many people screenshotted it. They'll be saved. They'll be saved or whatever it is. And to be honest with you, that's the number one thing I'm looking for, because I want you to take my content. And I mean, we go all over and we're like, Jeremy, this was amazing. You know, I screenshot it and I keep it in my phone or whatever it is. But I really want you to take it to Facebook and take it to wherever else you're going to go and share it. And if we can just have that little watermark right there, that's where we noticed a substantial difference with one of our pages, is we had our logo a little bit larger and we weren't getting near as many, and we were posting the same content with the same amount of followers. I'm like, that's the problem. That's it. Our logo is overbearing.
So in order to get the insights, you have to have it linked to your Facebook business page.
I
right?
believe that you do have to have it.
So somebody had posted on some group that when you do that, Instagram's new algorithm is seeing, oh, this is a business page, and so your engagement's automatically going down because they want you to pay for ads. Have you heard anything about that?
We've tested that, and if you look at actual Facebook, your profile page, there's a profile for Facebook, which is you, and there's a business page. If you go post on a business page that has 1,000 likes, I guess if you will, you might get 1 or 2% engagement. If you go post on a profile page, your personal page that has 1,000 friends, you'll get 10 times or 30 times more.
Right, but they're saying linking from Instagram to that Facebook page.
We haven't noticed that.
Instagram
Yeah, my group was saying
engagement.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
So I changed it up,
Mm-hmm.
just actually go in and out of my business page every once in a while. So I did see an increase when I wasn't on the business page by like 200-300 likes, but I don't know, I was just kinda switching it out, so I'm just testing it right now.
Does it matter where you send it?
Well, I believe that they're going to allow us a lot more features when you have the business page.
Well, see, I didn't wanna try it with his because if we unhook it, that's his blue check mark, they're tied together. So
Mhm.
if I was to unhook the business page, that goes away on Instagram, we don't wanna lose that, so I didn't wanna test it, I was just curious if anybody else had that.
Yeah, I've heard talk about that. We've tested it in the past and we haven't seen a measurable enough difference into us. The swipe up feature in the stories, you're probably not going to get if you have it personal instead of a page. And that swipe up feature, as we'll talk about later, is money.
Okay, so that's good to know, because the other page that we started on Instagram, we didn't link it, cause I was like, well, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. I think that the business page will be okay in the long run.
I'm gonna say, so we should just do it anyway and see what happens, right?
The answer will always be tested, and what the answer is, the reason why Jason and I are launching IG Mastermind is because what I'm telling you works today might not work tomorrow or next week. And so we're going to have a group where people can interact with us 2 times a month in real time, and we're going to tell you what's working today. And so that would be a big change.
Just to clarify, the IG Insights, you have to link to your Facebook page in order to access. the
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work.
I mean, there's other ways that, there's Icon and a ton of other analytics that will go to any Facebook page and tell you what your stats are in a lot more detail than what.
But is there any interest for Instagram analytics?
What's that?
Is there any specific analytics for Instagram that you can look without being linked to something else?
Not through them. You'll have to link it.
And I know this, like I said, I'm
That's
still
okay.
new with this. The business Facebook page is also linked to your personal Facebook page?
It's linked to a business page or some type of a page you have on Facebook.
So I would go to my personal page and then add another page?
Add a business page,
Business page.
and your personal page is linked to your business pages.
So it is linked to it?
Correct.
So I do wanna make sure that they the whole thing that I'm doing in my life fits with the business that's.
Yes, it should all jive.
Yeah.
We call that, and Jordan taught me this as well, called AdSense. And it's the scent of your ad. It should all line up and look the same, because you don't want to say, make money online with my XYZ system, and then you're saying 5 tips to get abs. They're like, well, this doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, okay.
Let's say that I have the quote right here that says, what the mind can conceive, it can achieve. And this is a huge tip, guys. Please pay close attention on this one. So that's going to be the text that's going to be on the image. Maybe we'll just use an all black background. And then we'll put our logo on there. You know what we're going to do to get this caption, the text that's going to go down here? We're going to Google that quote.
Oh, okay.
We're going to Google that quote and see who the most brilliant minds out on Google has figured out something that pairs really beautiful with this. And if you notice some of the testing we're doing in Instagram polls, which is a new feature, asking people what they want, and we're going to talk about this more tomorrow, the greatest system you could ever put in place for fitness, for make money online, for anything, is survey your people. What's the struggle you're having right now? What is it that's holding you back? Survey them, ask them what they want. And the next thing is outline in a short little video series how to get over those obstacles. And the last step is sell it to them. We're going to talk more about that tomorrow, though. Okay, so we're going to Google what the mind can achieve, or what the mind can see it can achieve, or whatever the quote is from there. And then we're going to start specifically looking for 5 tips, 10 tips to think more clearly or to overcome objectives. Go.
So what are you saying again? So you're gonna Google who has,
We're just going to Google the quote.
okay, and then.
Whatever.
And then when the quote pops up, we're going to start seeing people that say 10. The highest algorithm boost on Instagram, on Google these days is 10 tips, 7 tips, 7 steps. That's what, for some reason, Instagram or Google loves right now. And that's what pops if you're doing blog posts or anything like that. 7 tips how to lose weight in 9 days or whatever. Google loves that. That's a whole nother talk that we could do. But anyhow, we're going to Google the quote, and we're going to look for 3 tips or 7 tips or some type of tips. And then we're going to go grab those tips. Well, actually, this is specifically what we do. And you'll see this a lot. We're going to put another quote down below it, very short. So quote here. People love quotes. Quote here. And then we're going to list out, follow these 7 tips to have a powerful mindset. And then you're going to list those 7 steps out right there. But wait. You need to make certain that you're breaking up this text down here and not putting it all in like paragraph forms. And when I say a paragraph form could be 2 sentences that mumbles together. Your mind needs to be able to digest this stuff very quickly because Instagram is a vertical vision board, and for them to come out and read a little bit more of this, and you can do this in the notes section of your phone. So put it in your notes section first, and what I specifically do is I'll go find it on my computer, I'll put it in my notes, and then I'll bring my notes up on my phone and put that on there.
Well, you want to do like get 8 hours sleep or something like that. You mean make it short and sweet?
Whatever the other people. I'm gonna put the quote's probably gonna take 2 lines, maybe 3,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna put like a little dot or a hyphen right here, and then I'm gonna put my 10 tips for whatever it is
That's all in one caption.
with a colon. This is one caption, and then I'm gonna put another little hyphen, and then I'm gonna list 1, 2, 3, 4, the tips that go down.
Okay.
And then,
So that first part is just the quote itself as it was found in Google or something?
No. this is going to be what the mind can conceive, it can achieve. I'm going to put that in Google. Google is going to give me another quote that says, as a man thinks, so he is.
Oh, okay, so you add
Or
that.
something like that.
Okay.
And so I'm going to put that second quote in there so I can grab your attention again. And then I'm going to put top 10 tips or 10 tips to think or whatever it is. And then I'm going to put another hyphen line and list those tips out.
So I'm sorry.
Did you just say if your quote is original?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you still go to Google with your original quote, you're looking to see in Google how it's gonna link back to another quote, restate that quote, and then put the hyphen, and then go down with the tips and put the hyphen back.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely. That's just a great way to expand on this image, and it might not be as great when it comes to your likes on there, but you know what it would be great for? Comments and engagement, and actually establishing a relationship with your followers. They don't want this haphazardly, lazy, here's my image, here's this. I'd rather you have less posts, more impact, and more connection with your people. And that's one of the first things we did when we went and rearranged house for for Motivation Mindset and Agent Steven. And now let's keep going with the perfect post because we're not done yet. What's left? Bam, hashtags. Okay, so now we're going to put our hashtags in the first comment,
But first you put the line.
and we're going to put our little 8 lines,
Yeah.
and we're going to drop our hashtags in there. And that's it.
So we put a comment first, you said?
Well,
Or no?
so this is this is the post, and this is the caption, they call it, the text that goes below your post.
Okay.
And now the very first comment is where you're going to go into that comment. You're going to comment on your own Instagram post. You'll put the 8 little lines, and then you'll list out your 20 hashtags or 15 hashtags.
So first you put the comment, then you put the line.
Well, you're putting it in the comment section. It's like you're commenting on your own Instagram post. That's not very
So
cool.
it'll show up.
Absolutely, it'll show
In
up.
other words.
Mhm.
You just go in.
Yep. And so that's always where we'll go. And that is exactly what the perfect Instagram post should look like. And it doesn't matter if we're putting a video here or anything else. Let's elaborate on this post. Let's add more value to these people. Let's try to give them some types of tips. And then something I'm not doing or my team needs to do a better job at. When people leave comments on here, reply to their comments. I am a crazy stickler about my email. We have We have people on staff that do nothing but reply to every email I get every day, all day long. But yet on my social media stuff, I don't have people replying to all the comments that we're getting. And no, go ahead, please.
So, what if they just said something to you, even if liking is not a comment, like if they said something, like great quote, do you still comment back?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think that's maybe just your own judgment. Maybe every now and again say appreciate that, but I think if it's more of a, I think you're right. If it's more of a genuine, these are great tips that will help me get through, then that's probably there. But you're right, because you are going to get a lot of bot comments that are on there that are just silly. So you don't want to.
I normally just
Yeah, you
like,
just get like a
I
heart or
normally just
something.
like, yeah.
Yeah, if it's something like that.
Recognize that they, you know, they made a comment and I like.
That's I talk about that in my book, and that feature just came available when I actually went back and changed stuff because it just came available when we were about to go to print. That's just a simple way just to go try to like people's stuff. A problem though is once your pages grow and you're getting more comments, if you try to respond to 90 comments at once, Instagram will not like that. So
Even if it responds.
yes, even if you're replying, absolutely. Okay. The key to Instagram, and the reason why Instagram is a little bit the Wild West right now is because they haven't been able to figure out how we are gaming the system, how a lot of people are gaming the algorithms. And so the only thing Instagram's intelligence committee has been able to do is figure out actions per hour. And so if you're doing 200 likes per hour, then if you want to do 400 likes, they're going to give you a warning and say, slow it down. Facebook does the exact same thing. The exact same thing. If you're liking too much or...
So they're trying to figure out if you're a computer or if you're a human.
Well, they're trying to figure out if you're a computer or human, but they're also trying to figure out if you're abusing the platform. Because they don't want me to sit there who has this crazy work ethic and just follows people like crazy and unfollows people like crazy just because I'm trying to get followers. They don't want that. They want it to be a natural environment that their users can have a good experience. And so that's why you'll have to go in when you get lots of these comments and maybe reply to 30 of them now, and then 2 hours later, 20 or 30 more. And even liking everybody's stuff, you're only going to be able to like about 50 at a time.
Okay, so it's a good credit into those apps that says unfollow and follow.
What's that?
You know how they have those apps to unfollow or follow?
Yeah, I own one.
Right.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's so many, so.
Well, let me talk about that a little bit because I do talk about it in my book as well.
Yeah.
And everything changed, and we kind of predicted this a little bit. A lot of these apps were abusing Instagram's system, meaning they were just going crazy with likes and comments and spams and direct messaging. Here's my offer, buy this. And so Instagram went out and they shut down the biggest names in this business. They shut pretty much everyone down. There's a few small little ones out there, but because of our relationships and because of what I talked to you guys about earlier, I don't want to get rich fast. I want to get rich forever. And so we got the small things right. We put a system in place. Jordan brilliantly laid out an extraordinary proprietary program for us. And now with the follow and unfollow, we easily, hands down, have the #1 software for that right now. We don't allow our customers to abuse it, but the reason why it was important to me to spend so much money making it happen is because I believe that, like myself and like you have a good product. You have something that will actually help people and change their lives. And if you don't get massive attention, if you don't get people to come pay attention to what you have and look at it, you're dead. And so that's why it was extremely important to me to develop this product and this system to go out there and engage with the right people. Because most of these people, it's just a one and done, go automate your account and good luck with anything else. What do? We throw in something called Instajam Ignite that Jordan came up with. And we teach you, okay, now you have the followers, what are you going to do with them? Okay, that's the perfect Instagram post. Absolutely.
What's the follow and unfollow?
What we're going to do is
I usually follow, I don't unfollow.
the point of our software is you plug your account into Instajam. And Instajam goes out and first we do research and figure out who's going to be a great person to interact with your page. And so once we figure that out, we program our own algorithms to act like you, because you don't have time to sit there and go like people and go follow people. You've got better things to do with your time.
Like nature exploration or whatever.
Our system does it for you. And so when somebody likes your picture or someone comments on your post or someone follows you, you get a notification. And it's the law of reciprocity. Holy shit, I said it right. I always use that. I always mess that word up. But it's the law of reciprocity. So when you do something nice for me, we feel compelled to go do something nice for you. And that's why setting your Instagram profile up the right way, your page up the right way, like, oh, this person just liked, my page. Let's go see what they are and follow them. And if it's set up the right way, our software will bring you 1,500, 2,000 followers every single month. Let me put that in perspective. Motivation Mafia is 1.7 million followers. You do a shout out, and I'm going to show you how to do your shout outs. You do a shout out the right way with 1.7 million followers, and we're not going to do it for less than $350. You'll probably get about 200 followers. Our software, $100 a month, you'll get thousands. So that's the massive difference between why I think this is such a great program. Okay, let's move.
So
And-
just finishing, because I do have Instagram, and sometimes I see people commenting like, oh, so I liked your page, but you didn't like mine, and when you have Instagram, you just forget about your page, because this software is absolutely amazing. It has, I don't know the word in English, it didn't quadruple, it tripled, quadrupled my followers, okay? And they ask, oh, so I followed you, and sometimes I say, oh, yes, thank you so much, but I talk about Instagram.
Sure.
Please go to my bio. Is that how you think we should? Because I am an affiliate, and I want them to try, so I say, oh, thank you so much, but I have a software that does everything for me, and I don't know if that's.
I'll probably have Jordan talk more about that later because he's really who
Okay.
runs most of that system. But I believe I wouldn't come out of the gate and say this is a software that did this for you. I would try to create the relationship, and then, by the way, this is something that I've used that works for me, and I think it could be beneficial to you. And then you can send them to your link.
And we can't really engage when we have some.
Great question. The thing with Instagram is we call it George Foreman. You set it, you forget it. You set art, and we go out and do the work for you. However, remember how we talked about how many engagements, how many likes, how many comments, how many follows you can do per hour? Well, if our software is doing that for you, and then you're out there doing it yourself, you're going to over push the limits. And you may get a verbal spanking from them saying you can't follow or do anything else. And Jordan allows that to happen, I think, 1 or 2 times. I think he only allows it 1 time. We know when that happens, and we kick you out of the software when that happens, just because we've never lost an Instagram account ever with this.
So
And
in
so-
other words, when we go with you, then we don't have,
We do it for you.
so basically I'm trying to guess this, like, we put a word in the box, right, or something, and it's like, I'm trying to figure out how you figure out what's going on in my mind.
You're going to go through a really amazing process that Jordan put together
Yeah.
that figures out who your target audience is and figures out what your objective and what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And so that way we're actually engaging with the right people. But our number one fear every day is if we were ever to lose an Instagram account with this software, because it really only takes one time for someone to go to a forum and say, this thing will kill you or kill your account, and then we're done. And so we are overly protective anytime we get, it might just be something funny that's going on with Instagram and the way we connect to your account and the way we cloak everything that happens in there, but we don't want to ever lose an account. If we were to lose an account, Jordan would cry.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So if we want to get affiliated with this and we have our own brand, our own personal brand, and we have the other brand and we want to do that, because then there's going to be a different link.
Uh-huh.
So you
We're going to talk about that tomorrow.
Okay.
But absolutely, every one of you need to have some type of affiliate products as long as these products make sense and complement what you have. I had a problem with affiliate marketing for years. I was like, I'm only promoting my own stuff. But there's other great products out there that not only are you promoting them so you can create more revenue and pay more for your own customers, but so you can create that bond and they can promote your stuff as well. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Okay. People want to talk about when's the best time to post? When should we post on our Instagram accounts? And if you have your account connected to a business page, you'll see at the bottom these little blue bars. Not Viagra. And so this might say 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12, 1, 2, 3. And so when you're looking at your account and you have the insights of when your engagement is best on your own Instagram account, if your engagement is best at 11 o'clock, you don't post at 11 o'clock. If your engagement is best at 11 o'clock, you post at 10:30. You have to connect it to a business page. On Instagram. Hopefully I didn't use the F word. This is on Instagram. So if you bring up your... Yep. It'll be all on your insights. You'll just press a little... On the upper right-hand corner of your Instagram page, there'll be these little bars. You'll tap that, and it will tell you how many males, how many female followers. It will tell you how many followers you're gathering, how many impressions you're getting.
Oh, on the business side of it. So like this, I would have to
Go to your newsfeed. Yeah, you'll have to connect it to a business page to get that. And if you're not connected to a business page, you can go to Iconosquare, and Iconosquare will find all that information for you as well.
So I have to be connected to a business page
To get those types of analytics, yes. And so you're going to want to post 30 minutes before your peak times, and that's going to help you with your engagement.
Does everybody know how to connect to the business?
You'll have to set your...
Yeah, I.
Okay.
You know what, that's funny, I see that.
Yeah, where is Instagram?
What's the difference when you?
Once you connect it to a business page, it pops up. It takes 2 or 3 days.
Oh, it's just having like.
Huh? And connect it. Yep. They should say the exact hours right below it. Our show's by the hour. I'm not sure. We may have to look at that another time. Icona, I-C-O-N. What is it, Jordan? I think it's in the book. Yeah, it's in the reference. Iconosquare is what we've used for a while for analytics on your Instagram account. Okay, it's the very first one right there. Yes. If you go to the first page in the resources.
And that's for IG.
That's for Instagram, yeah. Social Rank is something we've used in the past as well.
So if you're looking at your analytics and you kind of like find, you kind of have this high time.
See, hers isn't by the hour. That's so funny. Hers is by the day. Yours is by the. All of ours are by the hour.
It's right here. Days are
Oh, okay.
Let me see that.
So
We didn't tap that. That's what we didn't do.
Here or here. Go down. We're gonna see more. So you're gonna see here. There's your hours.
Jordan.
And there's your days.
Awesome.
So what I was gonna ask you, because if I have something like that where would it be 30 minutes before this kind of, because it seems like
It seems like that's going to be a lot of peaks, so I would try to get 2 posts in those.
inside this window.
So I would try to hit something like at 6:30, 6:45, and then I'd try to do something like at 10:45 or something like that. Then probably again like at. Jason with Millionaire Mentor, he thinks that 5 p.m. Eastern time is the best in the world for everyone's account. If you ask him how he came up with that, he won't be able to tell you. So that's what his thought process is
One of
to.
my key times is like a lot of people write at night because people are winding down and just, that is interesting. He says 5.
He doesn't. I'm telling him right now, he doesn't know.
You said 11, I tried that, I never got
At
it,
night?
it paid almost $200.
11 p.m.?
In the night, I like.
That's what works best for us.
Yeah, and I did that,
I wonder-
and she also paid $200
I'm very good friends with Peter on Achieve the Impossible, and we'll do something for that.
We do that. It was very disappointing.
We've found our best engagements for all of our offers come late at night, like really late at night, because I guess people are scrolling through there.
It's like anyone, right?
Yeah, it must be. I wouldn't have guessed it. That's why I shot that video, and I think I put it out to a lot of you guys that showed you the impressions and the engagement and the opt-ins. But again, my target audience might be different than what your target audience is as well. And so that's something that when we talk later on this afternoon about your psycho demographics, yeah, those things. Jordan's going to be talking to you about those. Okay, let's talk about shout-outs. And again, when you're buying shout-outs with pages, I believe that if it's a one-time deal, it's almost like in one move you improve, doesn't exist. It needs to be packages with these pages. And if you look at Peter's page, Achieve the Impossible, and Peter's a very good friend of mine. He's an extraordinary man. The interview I did with him on this card right here was stellar. His page is not doing too well in growth on Social Blade with followers. And so you've got to kind of look at that plays a role as well. His page isn't a growing page right now. And I'm just going to be straight up with every one of you guys here and tell you what really works and what doesn't. But Peter's page doesn't have what we would like to see at this point. Now, he's going to work with us on Achieve the Impossible or on Motivation Mafia and some other pages to help, bolster his engagement. But he's the exact person. And I'll continue to say Peter's my friend. We talk a lot using Kick most of the time. Peter Bone, exactly.
What's his page?
Achieve the Impossible. He has his personal page, Peter Bone, Peter J. Bone, I think it's. No, he's not. The fitness guy in Australia is going to be Mark Iron with School for Success. But Peter's thing is he put all of this time and money into his page, and he's not even making a few thousand a month really off a lot of these things. And so they haven't figured out the monetization part yet. And there's only so much time I can work with a lot of these guys. I don't work one-on-one with people ever. It's just, it's not something that's scalable. And if you're in a business model where you're trading your time for money, that's bad. You've got to come up with a different system. Let's talk about shout-outs. Okay, so what I like to see on shout-outs, and there's a couple different ways that this works. So the pages like Jason's page, Jason's really pricey to advertise with. I'm not pushing people over there yet. But like Business Mindset 101, not very expensive. Motivated Mindset, not too expensive. Some other pages, they'll charge you a little more if you're going to do 4 images or a screener with 9 images as opposed to 1 image. But I talk about this, if you read one part in this book, when you're on the plane going, actually I'm going to give you different things to do on the plane going back. But I want you to understand the thought process of how these shout-outs work. And I do these shout-outs, we do lots and lots and lots of shout-outs. But think about Instagram being a vertical vision board and people scrolling through their vertical vision board and you getting a chance to get them to stop what they're doing and go follow you. That's the reason why Motivation Mafia can have 1.7 million followers. We can put your post out there and you can get 200 followers. That may not sound like a great return on your investment, but not a lot of people are going to stop what they're doing that you just interrupted them looking for their friends and cat videos and follow your page. There's some specific things that you can do to increase the likelihood of this. And one of the first things that you can do is not do a lot of this. Because it's what a lot of people are doing. And when I say this is just putting 1 image. And so people are scrolling through their vertical vision board on Instagram, and this is your image that has your quote or whatever on there, and then down below it, it's saying follow whoever. The problem with this is your content is going to have to be most of the time similar to the content that's already on the page. And so if your content is similar to what's on their page and their followers are scrolling through there, they're not going to look at the caption most of the time. They're just going to engage with the image because that's how our brains are programmed for, hieroglyphics, pictures. So This is bad when it comes to doing shout outs a lot. And it costs you a little bit more sometimes to make it look like a shout out, but your results are going to be substantially better. And I talk in detail about this in my book. Just
And
because.
that's in the same screenshot. In other words, you can do 4 pictures.
Correct. And so this is just going to be one of your IG posts. This is one of your IG posts. And the same thing with here. This would be just taking a screenshot of your account. I think it's 9. And this would be going to something like Canva, which is a great resource. Canva.com. And pressing a couple little buttons there, and I think I have video training on this as well, and dropping your images in there.
Okay.
And do you think that, and maybe you're about to get into this, that the main point of the shout out is to gain followers, or is it to point them to whatever your free offer happens to be?
I think that I don't like using shout outs just to get followers personally. I think that if you're here for vanity and you're here for popularity, I'm not your guy. If you're here to make money, if you're here to have long-term success, I don't know that anybody on the planet can beat me right now at this game.
So that was my thought. It's like if I'm going to do a shout out and take advantage of somebody else's audience, I don't just want the likes. I want them going to some link or to my book or to whatever, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're going to talk. So that's going to be the next part of the shout out. That's no, you're fine. You're fine. That's good.
Right.
I probably would have forgot about it. No.
So you're telling us don't do that now?
I don't want you to do just an image. I don't know if I want to use ever, but I would prefer you not doing this if you're going to do shout outs, which a lot of people are. I would prefer you having something more like this. Just because people don't know that that's a shout out. They just think it's a regular image and you're kind of just burning your money. You're wasting your time. Let's talk about the caption now. What we use a lot and we test this a lot.
Sorry, I missed it. So is that a collage of the picture?
Collage would be a good way to say it, yeah.
Oh,
What we like to use is follow my new, because people like new. Follow my new favorite page. And then sometimes we'll even do a little hyphen or dot and we'll link the page 3 more times. Just because our thumbs are kind of fat, and if we can just touch the thumbs right there, that works.
So you put the same one?
Well, this is your Instagram username. So this is going to be an Instagram influencer. This is Millionaire Mentor, Jason Stone on his page. He's going to post this image that's going to have 4 of your pictures.
Okay.
And below there, Jason's going to put in the caption, follow my new favorite page, and that's going to be you.
Oh, okay.
And then he'll put a line. And please, when you're doing promotions or shout outs or anything, when you send this stuff to the influencers, please make it so simple for us that we just post it. The biggest problems with shout outs that most of us are facing is you want us to come up with your captions. You want us we don't know your products and we don't have the time to stop what we're doing, put you on our massive platform. It just
You're just
Become
providing
a marketer.
Yes.
You're looking at marketing brand us and stuff.
correct.
Yeah.
Well, after watching your video, you give out those pages that you should do shout out to. I did something with Live Now Success. It's been about 3 months. Still haven't delivered.
Live Now Success. Is that Cody's?
I don't know. It's been 3 months to come back and forth. They still haven't delivered on shout out.
Okay, will you connect with me on stuff like that? And you let my arsenal and probably Jason make it right. Because they're not going to fuck with us when it comes down to this stuff. And I say that because it actually happens. No. Well, we try to make things right that happen because it does actually happen. And I know what page, I think we've had problems with that before. And so if you're going to go spend this money on this stuff, and the next thing is pay with PayPal if you can. Okay, we'll get your money back. Let me tell you how to do that. Great question. So much insights. Okay, when you pay people with PayPal, do not send it friends and family if you think there's going to be any discrepancies in this money. Because there's 2 or 3 different ways you can send your PayPal money. One is friends and family, one is goods and services, and I don't know, there's some other ones. That's the only 2. Most of my influencers and people I work with, I do send it friends and family because I know them. We're Peter Bone with Achieve. We're all great friends that we do stuff. Jason charges me too sometimes. I send him the money friends and family rate, so there's no fees involved in it. But once you press that button, it's gone forever. You'll never get it back. If you send the money, goods and services, you have 180 days from the date that money's sent to get it back very easily. And let me explain what very easily really means. You open up a case with PayPal and you tell them the service I was told I was going to receive wasn't done. And I can make them make it right. I will make people. It's actually something that I don't like spending my time doing, but I'm not going to let people get screwed over. If you prove to me you sent them the money, I will prove to them that I'll slap them or they'll post. So, and that will come with hurting their accounts in ways that our people can do.
Yeah.
But that's just wrong. But I personally think that the best thing for you is I wouldn't even want to work with those people any longer if they did that. Did you pay through PayPal?
Yeah.
That's usually what. So you're just going to go in there. You're going to open a case. You're going to say that they didn't deliver what I wanted to do. PayPal's going to go and reach out to them and say, hey, what's happening? And they're going to come back to you and say, hey, we're sorry, we'll take care of this. And then you're not going to say, okay, great. You're going to say, for the time, the pain and suffering and every injury attorney out there that I've consulted with, I'm being a little bit silly, I want at least 2 for 1. Because that's pretty screwed up that they're going to take your money and give you nothing in return. But and if they don't reply or whatever, and this can be on or off the record, I'm recorded right now, Natalie Driver with Boss Babe that we've done a lot of work with, she has the propensity to take your content, change it to whatever in the hell she wants to, and then post it on there. And when I do a shout out, and I don't do paid shout out, I do offers, I know what I want and I know what I'm looking for.
Right.
And so that was the last issue we had with my book. When I released my book, she changed everything. And so it was frustrating. Plus sometimes they'll just forget to put the link in the bio and say, oh, well, that wasn't a big deal. It wouldn't have helped anyway. But please always, always, always pay people goods and services. Open up a suit. PayPal will reach out to them and say, hey, what happened? If they'll come back, great. If not, usually in about 2 weeks, you'll get your money back. So that's definitely big.
So
Go ahead.
the influencers usually come back and say, okay, I'll do you a shout out at this day and time. Do they usually use a schedule like that?
I like schedules personally. Different influencers do it different ways. We're methodical on this and we want to give you a time and a date. And I think you guys need to have the responsibility to say, would it be possible to post this between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. on the 26th of October? And that way you know that that's happening. And then it's also your job. We run so many shout-outs. I literally have people that just do nothing but make sure my stuff is being posted. But another really important thing is you get a screenshot of the insights. And so after the post has already been made, you need to have them take a screenshot that shows how many likes, comments, how many impressions or whatever it got so that they can prove that this was done the way that you want it to be done. Most of these influencers, guys, you're going to want to find a few and just become friends with them. I mean, I wasn't friends with Jason for a very long time, but I bought from him, I interviewed him, I sent him silly little gifts, I said nice things about him that were lies, and he was kidding. And
I did one with Jason, and he sent all that. I got like 900 followers just from that. So he did everything that you did.
that's awesome. That's what I'm so glad to do that.
So I've never done a shout out yet, so I'm trying to be friends with whoever suggested. Okay, so do we take a screenshot of our thing and how do we send it to you or to the?
Good question.
I don't know, but I just.
Some people want it direct message. The majority of us want it sent email.
So you take a screenshot and then you add it and you say, this is what I want in there. So then they can just copy and paste and that's what they're gonna put under.
Let's talk about that real quick. When I'm looking for people to buy shoutouts, and I have lots of video trainings on this, guys, that I show you inside of my academy, how I go find people I want to buy shouts from, whether it's my paid shouts or whether it's product shouts that we're doing. I have canned response in my email system. A canned response is really easy to set up in Gmail, that you click a little button and it automatically populates your email and says, love your Instagram page, could I please get your prices, thanks, whoever. And so you'll click that button, we send them out, 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 send them out. Pages that we know will be good. And I think I showed this in one of the video trainings. And so that way you can get that information back. Now let's talk about what you provide these influencers. If we're doing a paid shout out, you need to provide them, you need to email them this or direct message them this, the image. And it needs to.
When did you agree on that? Like, initially you're asking for rates, right?
Okay, sure, okay, yeah, I'll back up. So they're going to come back with their rates, and most of the time, I don't negotiate a lot in the beginning because I just want to figure out if this $60 or I'm not going to jump out with $200 right away by any means, and I'm sorry for that, but I will. Peter, we're very good friends. We'll do something on that. But anyhow, I just want to figure out what type of results I can get with that initial post from them. So I'm testing them out. You know, Scratched Stories is an account that is amazing right now for traffic. And so they've got about 900,000 followers. Their prices really aren't that much. Scratched Stories. Maybe I'm probably saying it wrong. They've got about 900,000 followers. They're all green is what all of their posts. Scratched. Okay. That's it. I think they're private. They keep them private. You want to know a little hack that these private accounts are using lately that's really cool that I just learned through some of the big pages? This is awesome. So what they're doing is they're running a shout out. And in their shout out, they're writing some type of text in the image, and then they're stopping with ... read the rest. So that way you have to fit, well, they caught you right here, and then you go over their IG account, and it's private. And so you have to follow them, and they have to approve you so you can figure out what's the rest of this story. I just started seeing people do that in the last couple of weeks. And so we haven't personally tested it, but I went through their analytics, and it seems to be giving them success. Okay. So let's walk through the steps. The person comes back, sends you their rates, whether it's on direct message or whether it's on email. Now what? Anytime I do a deal with somebody, I don't remember what book I learned this in. I always ask them, is this the best you can do? And if they come back with an emphatic yes with, is this the best you can do, I make the deal. But I always ask. I'm always trying to figure out what's the best price. And I'll usually run one shout on these pages and really dial in what type of results I received. And if I can get good results, I want to load up and get 10 or 20. And I know that it's an investment, and we're going to talk about this more tomorrow, to get enough traffic to get your offers to convert. And if you would have told me, Jordan and I were talking about this a couple of days ago on Skype, if you would have told us how much traffic we had to run to make the profits, we would have never thought in a million years we could run that much traffic, and we would have just gave up. But it's not as hard as the numbers break down to be, but you do have to run a shitload of traffic to get enough impressions, to get enough people going through the steps of your funnel to profit. And it has to be a cycle, a rinse and repeat thing that continuously helps. So they're going to come back to you with their price and say, maybe you're going to say, could I do a trial shout? I know your price is $85. Could I just do a trial one for $55? If it works for me, I'll buy a package of 10. That's the strategy I use. And most of the time, they're going to come back just something with your human mind mechanisms, like $10 less than what they started. They're not going to give you their price because they want to feel like they won. And that's okay. And so now you're going to email or direct message them however they want your image, and then follow my new favorite page with putting that page a few more times. And that's it.
So the page is what goes underneath. Like you said, follow my new favorite page.
Follow my new favorite page. And those are the @ signs so that someone's fat thumb can just touch it and get to your page real fast.
Okay, and it's the same page?
Yep, it's your page because they're sending to your page.
So that is specifically a shout out for likes.
That's doing nothing but to get followers, not so much likes, but that's to get followers, yeah.
So that they can't.
And also, something super important, if you're going to go spend $200 to get a shout out and send people over to your page, don't have ads and promotions in an ugly page that you just went and spent all this money, and now you're getting someone to come over to your page and you've got crappy images, you're not elaborating on the caption, your bio's not set up correctly, your logo looks like trash, you've got a spammy link in your deal, because they're going to come over, check you out, and say, oh, this is no good.
And that's on your Instagram page.
That's your personal Instagram page. That's why we talked about the fundamentals of setting that up.
Yeah, so we have to have, like I set up my new account from my personal, I got my business page set up, but I haven't done anything else. I mean, absolutely nothing.
Well, this is a good place to start. What I want you to do is go through a lot of my video training, and then I've got my last book. What the hell is the title of my last book? Something about, I think it was 7 Secrets to Instagram Success. It's an audio book that you can hear it. So maybe you're going to be a little bit overloaded on homework tonight, but maybe if you can listen to that last book, that'll help more of the foundation as well. So let's talk about the ad shout out now, because the ad is going to be the most important part of this entire freaking process. There is no place in the world right now that you can drive as much traffic that you can take a movie from scarcity or from nowhere and make them a blockbuster. There's no way that you could guarantee, any of you guys write a book, I can guarantee to make it a #1 bestseller. I can guarantee it. There's no question, no doubt. I would bet $10,000 against anybody of my own money, Black MX, whatever you want. I can guarantee bestsellers. And it's because of how quickly I can drive traffic and get them at Amazon and make them make that decision. No question. So how do we do that? What makes this so powerful? If you'll notice on the last shout out, and I'll predicate into this, follow my new favorite page. It was a personal recommendation from somebody who already has TLC. And Jordan's thinking tender love and care, but that's not it. Trust, loyalty, credibility build up with all of these followers. When I'm hanging out with my Instagram influencers and we're trying to have fun, they're glued to their phones, constantly nurturing their communities, replying to the direct messages. They're scared to death that they're going to drop the ball and someone's going to get mad at them. And so they have spent so much time building up this bond with their followers. Now it's almost like it's unfair because we're just going to fish out the people who want to give us money. Why they're not fishing them out? Stay broke. So anyhow, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what we need to provide these people. And this is very, very, very important that you provide this information this simplistic in this way. And so now we're going to do a product shout out. And we're going to do that. We're going to have all this built out for you guys tomorrow. We're going to do a product. The best product right now to collect email addresses and to get people into your world and to actually see you as an authority are private label right ebooks. It's how we got our start, and it's what's working still amazing to this day. And so what we're going to do, the Instagram influencer, once we negotiate the price and we agree upon the price, and the price will be more if we're doing a link in their bio, we're going to have our ad that we're going to send our Instagram influencer, which is going to be the image, obviously. We're going to send them the caption that goes down below there. And we always like to open our caption up when we're selling a product with a question. Why? It's a pattern interrupt. It helps them think about what if you had more energy, or what if, or how would you feel, or something that would just change them up a little bit. That's the whole point of every business, solving a problem. And then we want to play on that personal endorsement in here too. My friends have just released a new fitness program that might be, I'm trying to create curiosity. You want to create a little bit of curiosity next that makes it odd or unique or something unheard of or something that's new. Everybody likes new. And then you want to get as quickly as possible, get it free here, get free here. And then it'll be a finger, the little emoji finger, with the Instagram influencer's name. We want to use free 2 or 3 times in this caption. And so let's just say this is an ebook about motivation. We'll open up with a question about being inspired or not building somebody else's dream. And then we'll say that it's a new or a different approach or something you probably haven't heard of before. And then we'll say, get it today, get it free here today or something like that. And it's the Instagram influencer's handle so that when they go to the Instagram influencer's page, we'll do Jason's page. He'll have his bio stuff. And then so step 1 is the image. Step 2 is the caption. And the caption must start out with a question, use the word free, and it must have 2 or 3 times the Instagram influencer's handle in there, telling them to go to this Instagram influencer and click this link.
2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times. For sure at the very end, you want to close out with that. And if you want to get really good, apply some type of scarcity involved in here. Available 10, 25, 18 only. Or free shipping goes away at whatever the time is. People don't want to lose out on something. So that's going to be absolutely crucial. So step 1, image. Step 2, caption. Step 3.
Can I ask a question
Uh-huh.
real quick? In a situation like that, do you feel like the image is better played on the problem? Is it a picture of the actual product? Have you tested different things? Like, so if I have an ebook that I've written, is it better that it's a picture of the ebook with that in there, or is it a picture of something that may emotionally play into whatever that ebook's going to solve?
We found that having the ebook in there is best.
Yeah,
And
it's
what we're
fine.
starting to do new testing with is not taking a picture of our ebooks laying by a coffee mug or something like that. Taking a picture of our ebook with someone holding it and reading it so it looks real and it feels like someone's getting value from it.
Right.
We're going to do this tomorrow. Because it's almost, and we learned this selling bracelets when we started out on Instagram. When we just put a bracelet out there, we did okay, but when we put it on a human being and someone can connect it to themselves, game changer.
Thank you.
So there's 4 parts. Let's use our Instagram web class. So we're going to put in the image free web class, free Instagram training. We're going to have the word free on the image. Free ebook. Maybe we'll put today only or some type of scarcity. We'll put something like, if we're using back to the web class, are you struggling to grow your Instagram following? We might even put a question on the image. And then the caption, we're going to come back down. Question, say it's free, say it's limited, and link that Instagram influencer several times. And then very important that most people are leaving off is step 4, I always say, because you remember the last thing that I usually say instead of the first, is going to be the text that goes above the link in the bio. And so think about that. They're going to be clicking a link in the Instagram influencer's bio. I want text that goes above that with a finger pointing down that says free Instagram web class or that says free mindset shifting book. This little piece that a lot of people leave out on their shout outs has resulted in sometimes 400% more clicks. Just so that people, they see that link, but they need something to connect that link of what they're going to do.
So can you use like you don't want to use the exact same thing though, you want it.
No, I want it different.
Because you can spread your message and
You can spread it
expand
out more. Here, you're going to get like 3 words, 4 words. So just very specific.
Okay.
And so when we're sending this email or this direct message to our Instagram influencer, the first thing we're going to put up there is so this email is going to read, hi Jason. And I don't even say anything else. I mean, and I don't mean this disrespectfully. We don't need the pleasantries. Just send us what you want us to post. We want to do this as quick and as efficient. And sometimes if you put more stuff in there, we might accidentally just copy and paste the whole thing and throw it into the caption. So, maybe your subject line says shout out for so-and-so. And then, hi Jason or hi Achieve the Impossible, whatever it might be. Text below or text above link. And then this is going to be free ebook or free fitness video or whatever it might be. And then you're going to write link. And then that's going to be your link. So we'll do it a little bit differently here. And then we'll do 3. And so the 4 parts to an Instagram shout out, and I know this is just crazy simple. Text above the link. That's going to be free Instagram masterclass with a finger pointing down. 2, link, whatever your link is going to be,
Our link,
to your link where we're going to be sending people.
okay.
3, caption, whatever that caption is going to, and I'm not being, it needs to look exactly like text above link. Put the link. Link, put the link. Caption, put the caption. Bottom, image attached. So you're just going to attach that image so that way they know this is the simplest format in the world to doing this. Okay. What else? We're just going to a few more minutes. Okay.
Jeremy, is it better to have a picture or a video for that? Because I saw a lot of videos for Clever Investor.
Cody's killing it.
Yeah. What is better for that kind of shout out?
It depends. Videos for us get less opt-ins, but more buyers. Images for us get way more opt-ins, but less buyers. If you can deliver on video, and every one of you can, you should have seen some of my first videos. We should watch bloopers. I sucked. But if you can get good on video, just practicing talking, and a lot of time, and this is a different topic as well, when you're starting to do your Facebook Lives, because there is a time and a place for them, when you're starting to do your videos, the only person you're teaching is yourself. You're getting comfortable with delivering this message. You're getting comfortable with talking. And you need to push yourself out of the comfort zone. I'll jump on Motivation Mafia or Jeremy McGilvery on the Instagram Live, and I will go out for like a run or a brisk walk or something like that, and some of you guys have probably seen this. I will make myself go till they shut me off. I want to make sure I have enough content, and I think it's an hour. And I mean, that's certainly not where you begin, but it's something that you need to get comfortable delivering your message and talking and sharing what you have. And at the beginning, it's not for them. I mean, all these quotes that I have and all these thoughts that I have as I'm running, as I'm working, as I'm sleeping probably times, this stuff is going through my mind. You have to, as Grant Cardone says, be obsessed or be averaged. I didn't get from this massive pitfall 8 years ago today to where I am right now because I said, let's try to make time for balance in my life. Let's try to find some balance with what I'm doing. When you're starting this stuff out, there is no balance. The best analogy is when you're trying to attract that significant other, you're not going to say, well, let me just see them whenever I can. You're all in. You're winning. You're doing whatever you can to overwhelm and shock and awe and bring them into your world. And then once they're in your world, hopefully you don't get too laxed. But that's the way a lot of business is. You can't just say, well, let's just try this a little bit. Let's dabble and see if this works. My system, this formula, this Instagram opportunity will work for virtually every single business out there, to work for your businesses. But the point is not to go buy one Instagram shout out and get 200 email opt-ins or 100 email opt-ins and say these people didn't buy my product. We've got to be able to do 5 or 6 of them, get 1,000 email opt-ins, and then the fortune will always be in the follow-up. I own the domain name. Fortune is in follow-up. Okay. We're going to cut you guys for lunch in about 15 minutes. I initially had you eating through every single talk because I have so many things I want to pour into you guys, but Jordan and other people told me that was retarded and you guys don't want to be around me that much. So let's spend about another 15 minutes or so just answering some of the questions that you guys have. I didn't want to go over a whole lot in this book because it's in the book. But I do want to go over maybe what might be you're stumbling against to have success on Instagram or what you're doing. Like I said, we're the brightest minds in this business right now. We have the biggest pages out there. We're making the most money out of all of these people. And there really is no secret. I always thought, when I first went to work for Merrill Lynch, when I started with the have-nots and I was getting around the haves, I thought that someone pulled all these rich people in some secret closet in this massive building and said, hey, this is what you do. I thought that they knew something that I didn't know. And so eventually, when I left Maryland, I took over most of their 401k plans and everybody else. I'd always walk in a room with something in my eye saying, I know something you don't. Almost like that Field of Dreams movie. You just want them to think that you know something, even if you do or you don't. And you can have a lot of success that way in life. But I think that you also, if it's planted in your mind that there's some type of secret formula or secret handshake or secret society. Someone asked me on an Instagram live feed the other day that, you know, is it true that, I forgot what terminology they used, that it was a secret language or whatever. I have literally started at the rock bottom from the worst white trash you would find in your life of people that do the god-awfulest things. And I've made, Black Amex. We'll stop there. So there is no real secret. There is no real code. The secret is in the system. It's in the process. It's in the formula. And it's in doing it enough to finally get results.
To feel it, like have it
So-
part of your life.
Well,
Like do it, like the images and how you're. It's like
when I'm talking about this,
you're being a graphic designer at the same time, right? I mean.
no, I don't want you to be a graphic
You
designer.
don't have to do that.
If you're a graphic designer, we're not going to make money. All I want you to do is use what I tell you to use and just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And then watch how you have an abundance of leads. Watch how you're able to sit on a beach and wherever you choose to go and send an email out to people with a nice offer in it. And you're not just offering, we're going to talk a lot about email tomorrow, but you're actually adding value to people's lives and helping them get closer to their dreams and goals and ambitions and supporting their families. And the money just pours in. I mean, it's incredible. So many people that work bricks and mortar businesses that are tied down to an office that they have to go to whereas we can have the freedom to go about living life on our own terms, experiencing what we want to experience, all because we finally found the formula. I mean, writing a book and putting all these chapters together, I thought, well, somebody else must know how to do that. And it's hard and it's frustrating. And I threw a couple of those that got damaged. But I figured it out. My next book is way better than this one. My next book is really awesome. I can't wait to share that one with you. But it really is an extraordinary opportunity that we have using this platform and this system. But I want you to spend 15% of your time on your own page. And all the rest with shout outs and influencers with other people. You're not going to make, I don't care if you have 10,000 followers. I don't care if you have 100,000 followers on your page. You're not going to find financial freedom. You're not going to get leads there. You can and we will, but we need to go to other pages and we need to extract their followers because they're not doing it. Go ahead.
You'll probably cover this tomorrow. Let's say we've figured this out, what to do, how to do it, when to do it. Are you going to teach us how to scale it, like outsource to VAs and what to outsource?
I can let you know what companies or what people that I specifically use. Not all of our people, because most of them are overworked. But what you need to do, I can show you enough information of what the system is to where we can have other people do this stuff for you, but you're working on higher level deals that produce more of a impact. You know, you should always be thinking about what's the most important thing I should be doing right this moment. And it probably isn't making a damn Instagram image. That's probably not the most important thing you need to be doing right now. It's probably more like, how can I create another offer to add as a bonus to my current offer so it makes it sexy and it makes it a no-brainer and it makes it something that people have to have. That's where I want your time spent. And that's why I'm telling you 15% on your own page.
The daily didactic tedious tasks
Mhm.
can be...
Yeah, there's people all over the world that we can do that too. What else?
Another question. For a specific niche, it's a different... Would you recommend a different Instagram account?
Absolutely. And that goes back to AdSense. We can't have a fitness account that all of a sudden that says make money online. We can't have a make money online account that... Actually, I think you could have a make money online account that talks about fitness, because I think one of the best ways to make money is confidence and feeling good about yourself and not trying to sleep 9 hours a day.
So you actually, we can set up more than one page.
Oh yeah, we have.
That's what I'm, so literally like I'm looking at multiple income streams.
Mhm.
then I can set up another page and then do the exact same thing that you've said to do here for each one.
Here's the trap. I don't want you having 4 pages, 3 pages,
Okay.
and spending your time on these pages. You're not going to make money that way.
Do one
Okay.
first.
I want you to have no Instagram pages. I want you to have no Instagram pages if that's the case. Now, you should have an Instagram page, and I'm just trying to get your attention right now. I want you to focus on influencers in your funnel. I want your email list to be bigger than I want your followers to be. That's my objective and that's my goal, because that's where your money is going to come from. This isn't a class about getting followers and getting likes. This is a class about making money.
Right, so we need the email.
And so maybe we can do 2 pages, but the amount of time it's going to take you to actually put 3 posts out per day that's good content to people is going to bog you down so much you're not going to focus on high-end impact items that are going to make you money. And that's the problem where a lot of people are facing right now. I haven't posted, let's just keep it real with everybody. I haven't posted on my own Instagram pages in a year or 2. I don't really get on Instagram that much other than to verify the stuff's being done the way I want it and then tell people, you can do better, you can do better, you can do better, just because I want them to crush it. I can't spend my time posting images and writing captions. Jason hasn't posted on Instagram in a year and a half, Millionaire Mentor. Now, do we jump on lives and do our stories and stuff like that? Yeah. But we're not going to be able to spend our time posting images on Instagram, and neither can any of you.
Somebody used to tell me that you pay money 3 times valuable and you don't want to spend your time doing minimum wage activities.
Yeah.
That would be
So that you can
Or you
delegate,
mean like
posting.
he has someone doing it for him?
Yeah, so you have someone else do it for you.
Let me tell you a really big tip.
This is like,
This is something I want you guys to ingrain in your mind and maybe even write down. My good friend Chris with Success Diaries, Chris Preston, and what is he? He has several other pages, a business blueprint and stuff like that. Chris lost his page Success Diaries a year ago or 9 months ago, 500,000 followers. He was sick. It was like someone kidnapped his child. He lost his Instagram page with nearly 500,000 followers.
Why?
Somebody hacked it. There's hackers constantly out there, especially the more your account grows and the higher profiles that you are. There's hackers that are going out there.
So what do you do? And what are they hacking?
I'm never going to present you guys a problem without giving you a solution. Here's what you do, and this is why this is a massive tip. The original email, and this plays into giving someone else access to your account. People have access to my accounts. But the original email that you set your Instagram account up with, whatever that original email is, you need to go in and change it.
Really?
Because that original email is what Instagram always will tie to your account. And so let's say that we give a virtual assistant our username and password to go access our Instagram account, and this VA goes rogue and wants to take our account or whatever from us and change the passwords on us. As long as we have that original email, we can contact Instagram and they'll send an email to that original email account and we can get our account back up and running. That's how Chris got his account that had 500,000 followers back. And so when you do have a virtual assistant post on your accounts, and you absolutely should, just make certain it's not the original email that's in there.
can you tell us what is like the rate to hire someone? I went to look at that. One is like, I don't know if it was $5 a day or $10.
All of life, you get what you pay for. Go ahead and I'll answer your question.
I was gonna say, so Steve does yours, right?
Yeah.
I talked to him, and he told me what he would charge or whatever.
What's he charge you?
500
$500 a month, yeah.
For a month.
per month.
We pay a little bit less because he does a lot of our stuff. Steven started the page Motivated Mindset, 500,000 followers. He's out of Canada, and I trust him. As soon as I took over Ambition or Motivation Mafia and everybody else, I sent him over the passwords. I made sure that this company, though, I told them the email trick, change the emails right now. I don't even want to have the original emails to this stuff. But I think that you can probably find someone for $300 a month or $250 a month that might not put as much content out. You don't need it's not about your page. It's about these other pages. But Steven and I honestly almost feel like I should help him build out a better business in hiring more people to do this because he's good. And a lot of people, I don't know about you guys in this room, but a lot of people can't afford $250 a month right now to have someone post on their page because they're not making $250 a month. Because then you got the $250. Now I need you to go spend $600 or $700 a month on shout outs as well. Now I need you to pay for an email provider. Now I need you to have a product. Now I need you to have an upsell. And so I think, depending on where you are at your life and your business, I think I'll show you how to do the images. Post 1 or 2 good images a day. On Sunday night, just sit down. Don't be addicted to distractions and knock out your content for the week.
There's also a way, like, so, you know, we were talking about $500 a month and like do that. So, like, for us, we don't go grocery shopping anymore. We use Instacart because that's minimum wage activities. That's an hour there, that's spending this time, blah, 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 and send it back. We also don't do, like, massive grocery shopping. We use Green Chef because it delivers to your door. I mean, those are expenses, but our time is more valuable.
Yes.
And I don't want to
True.
spend my time going and doing this. And so it's like housekeeping, same thing. You pay a housekeeper, $80. It's well worth it. 'Cause that's 4 hours that I don't want to spend doing that kind of activity.
That's
So
very
just saying
true.
it's all about choices and priorities so that we can concentrate on this.
And that's why, guys,
Time arbitrage.
y'all are very successful. And I'm very grateful that I have an opportunity to work with you both and you came here. One of the biggest problems that unsuccessful people have in life, and I was talking to bitching about this to someone a couple days ago, they'll come home from the supermarket and their chicken will be expired, and they'll go to the damn supermarket and complain that their chicken for $7 was expired and demand a new one, and spend 2 hours of their time instead of throwing it away. Now circumvent the whole thing, go to Instacart. I just started using it a little bit.
Exactly. It's like driving across town to get cheaper gas. It's stupid. You know, it's like you gotta
Insta
think
what?
about it. 'Cause it's
Instacart.
your time, it's your time. Instacart.
Do you guys? Is there an affiliate link for that?
I don't know, but we
You should give an affiliate link for that.
And Green Chef, we reach out to them because they have keto meals, and that involves with, you know, the ketogenic diet and the ketones, and it all wraps together in the value. You know what I mean?
Makes me feel like a gourmet chef. You're actually
Love it.
30 minutes.
Instacart.
That's
Well,
more
because
than
you
the
don't
world.
know. See, it's like the same thing. What is it? Zuckerberg wears the same outfit every day. So you don't have
I
to
remember
make
it, yep.
choices, right? Now we don't have to
Choose.
decide
He
about
doesn't
dinner.
choose.
It's already made,
Mhm.
and it takes 30 minutes. It's like it's done. That's
Yeah.
all. No decision making. Green Chef is who we use. So I can give you guys an affiliate, like a code for that one. But yeah.
We should. I started using Zedrix, a place up the road here, a lot.
Comes to your door.
Ready.
No, you have to cook it.
And also
but
my-
it's-
I
but it's
know.
all
My Fit
portioned.
They're done.
Oh, they're gone.
My Fit Foods is out of business.
All it is, everything
It is
is
like
literally,
literally, it is like literally.
All right, guys. What else? I want to get you guys out of here.
Automation.
Automation.
Is there any auto scheduler software app right now? IFTT? Which one?
Hopper HQ, HOPPERHQ.com is the only scheduling app that won't get your account banned on Instagram, to where you can upload your images to Hopper and you can put your caption, and they also allow you to put the hashtags in the first comment. They're about to be my competitor, guys, in a few months because we're going to come up with that software ourselves.
Oh, cool.
But
In how long can you schedule?
we do a couple of weeks sometimes. I don't know what a couple weeks at least.
Okay,
Hopper HQ.
cool. All
How
right.
much is it?
Is Buffer?
You just hit
I think it's
submit button,
$37 to $97 a month.
But you put it.
Buffer doesn't work. Buffer won't allow you to just. Buffer doesn't work. Instagram's API, their little
Hootsuite
links.
doesn't.
Hootsuite doesn't either. This is the only company right now that does it right now.
How about IFTTT?
I have the beauty of IFTT is it sends your images to other social platforms in the correct format. Because if you post on your Instagram page, if you personally go post it, and if you go use Buffer to post on there, your engagement's way down because Instagram doesn't want you Facebook doesn't want you scheduling. They want you on their platform posting. IFTT hides that.
I don't want scheduling.
Oh.
The point of every social media platform is to have you stay on their platform. That's the point.
What IFTT doesn't do.
They hide it so that way they don't do it without sending you a message and making you approve it. So no, they don't.